guys, this is another review. Today we're going to review my favorite backstabbing game, Cutthroat Caverns. I have to read the tagline for this game. Without teamwork, you'll never survive. Without betrayal, you'll never win. That's exactly what this game was about. This game, you have a party of members, okay? So you have, it's kind of like your other, D&D-esque kind of game, but not really D&D. So stay with me here. You have a group of players, and you're going into a dungeon. And each dungeon room has a certain monster in it. Now, each member has to contribute to killing the monster, but only one person can get the points for that monster. Now you see where the betrayal is going to come in. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. To start off Cutthroat Caverns, each person receives one of the player mats that has a score track on it, and one marble. He then puts that on the 100 mark to show that he's at full health. Each person then draws 7 cards. You take out the monster mat and put the marker, the life marker, on the total of the monster at hand, and then you put the encounter marker on number 1. You then take 9 of the included 25 monster cards and put those in front of you for your dungeon. That's how you start off the game. Now, on each turn of Cutthroat Caverns, each person is going to draw randomly one of the initiative numbers. This represents turn order for that turn. So basically, if there's 3 players, each person just draws one of the 3, and these are that turn order for that round. Now, what Cutthroat Caverns is about is each round you're going to be fighting one of the monsters from your dungeon. Now, what's cool is that everybody has to be included in fighting the monster, or else you can't kill him. But the person who finishes him off, who does the last damage that kills him, is the one that gets the victory points for him. The other people get nothing. So that's how this game works. So this game is all about, planning when to do certain attacks, when not to do certain attacks, and when to hurt everybody else in the play of the game. Well, how do you do that? Well, you do that with other cards. On your turn, what you do is, say I was number 1, everybody puts a card face down in front of them. You take one of your attack cards from your hand, and you put it face down in front of you. Once everybody does that, each person turns their card over, and then you add that damage, or you subtract that damage, rather, from the monster track until it gets down to 0. Now, there are cards that can cancel things out. For instance, Plan B, this action card, these blue action cards. This card lets you switch initiatives. So if you think somebody is number 1 and they'll be playing, rather high to, kill off the monster first, then you can switch your initiative with him and you can play a high card instead, and that'll make you kill him instead of somebody else. There's also other cards that let you switch action cards between people, lets you cancel action cards, makes people lose turns, do damage to people. There's also items in the game that let you get more health back. It lets you give other people health, in which you get victory points for that. You get prestige points for that, which is nice. So there's a lot of communication in the game. There's a lot of interactability. Now, what's also great about this game is that these cards. There's 25 of these dungeon cards. You only use 9 of them in the game. Usually, sometimes you can use 10 or more, but usually you only use 9. And each of these is different. So you have a lot of replay value in this game because each dungeon will be different. Now let's go over some of these monsters so you can understand what's kind of going on. The Ripper, he starts out at 150 for 3 players, 190 for 4, 240 for 5, and 280 for 6. And he's the basic dragon. When he does damage to somebody, that person just discards a card. Not very bad. The Minotaur. The Minotaur is kind of fun because in order to do damage to the Minotaur, you have to beat the person in rock, paper, scissors who's number 1. So that's kind of cool. The Trog, he does damage to the first person, and then you have to flip a coin for each other person. And then if it hits a certain heads or tails, then it does damage to everybody else, and it increases in damage. The Wolfpack, he adds 3 little wolf minions, and you have to kill those off before you can kill the big guy. So that's pretty cool. Blood Mage, if you don't kill him in one shot, he adds monsters from outside the game to your stack. So the stack can get really, really high if you don't kill him off very fast. And then the Anti-Paladin, he does 5 damage to everybody at the table, and that damage goes to his life. So there's a bunch of different dungeons, a bunch of different monsters. I won't spoil all of them for you, but there's a bunch of different stuff in here. There's not only actual monsters, but like games, kind of. Like there's a memory type game that you have to play with your hand. So that's very nice. At the end of each round, the person who wins the monster takes the monster to show his victory points. At that point, you draw up to 7 cards, you show the next monster, and you kill him. And that's all you do in Cutthroat Caverns. You're playing cards to hurt other people, you're playing cards on yourself to win, and the person who kills him first, or kills him last rather, gets the points. At the end of all your dungeons, once all your dungeons are gone, the person with the most points wins. But what do I think about Cutthroat Caverns? Personally, I am a big fan of the screw your neighbor kind of games. I don't know why. I love them. I can't get enough of them. Even in games that aren't really necessarily screw your neighbor, I'll try and push something to do screw your neighbor. Like Carcassonne. Carcassonne I love to do screw your neighbor stuff. But that's a different story. This game, I'll have to give a disclaimer to it. If you have friends that they get really, really aggressive, really, really fast, this game might not be for them, because you can easily see how this could get, really, really angry really, really fast. Like, why'd you do that? We're trying to kill this. No, blah, 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 blah. So, that's something to think about. Most of the games that I've had, it's all fun in the game. Not trying to really kill somebody off, but then you really are, and kind of thing. But it's kind of, I guess it's your own group. For me, I love it. It's really, really nice. The cards, cards are just, they're standard cards, nothing special. I like to keep mine in sleeves just so they last longer. But the cards are just basic, poker-sized cards. You get a lot of them, so you get a lot of stuff. I would recommend that you do try and sleeve the turnover cards, because these get handled a lot and they get shuffled a lot. They can get damaged really easily. Speaking of these are really, really nice to the game. Instead of having one person always the same, or you keep going in a clockwise manner, turnover change, this really adds a dynamic to the game, especially when you have 6 people, because you get 6 cards that you're shuffling and you deal 6 cards out to people. It's really changes the game. Granted, this can be kind of a lucky thing that you might be able to get the monster, but that's where those action cards come in, because there are action cards that can prevent somebody from doing their turn this turn. So this turn. Oh, it's kind of weird. They could not take their turn, and then you could get the points for it. It's really, really nice. Really, really helpful to do that. Now these monsters are amazing. Okay, these are really, really cool. I haven't played the game, or I've probably played 8, 10 times now, and I still haven't gotten old with these, with these cards. There's even expansions to the game that add more of these and even more elements to the game. It's really, really cool. You can check those out too. Other than that, downsides to the game. I guess just people who don't like screw your neighbor games, maybe. I love this game. This game's really, really fun. It's always a big popular thing when I have a lot of people playing, or like a lot of people here that don't really like some of the bigger games. This is a game that to pull out for sure. So with that, if you want to purchase the game, be sure to check out bestdanggames.com, best gaming and service on the net. With that, I guess I will see you guys later.